Enterprising this week, giving the pink slip is tough.
Nobody likes to lay people off.
Getting the pink slip is even tougher.
It would make sense if the companies would offer the severance package upfront and would probably not put the employee through so much of an angst.
Learn about laying off with compassion. He started off as an engineering trainee on the Tata Motors shop floor. Today, this small town boy runs a 200 crore rupee company with 14,000 employees. Find out how HR Gaikwad turned the mundane job of cleaning into a successful business venture. And you don't need to sell your Ferrari or be a monk to be successful. Just read our list of non-business books that offer business inspiration.
Hello and welcome to Enterprising. A successful business is all about teamwork, a team that you've handpicked lovingly, a team that's bought into your vision of an enterprise, a team that swears to stick together in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health. Except when the tide turns, you may be forced to let some of those precious team members go. Well, let me tell you this, layoffs are devastating, not just for employees, but also for employers and those team members left behind. Natasha Parekh finds out if there's anything like a pain-free pink slip.
25 lakh people have been laid off in the US alone. While according to a survey conducted by the Indian Labour Ministry, 5 lakh people lost their jobs here in India. I'm now about to meet one of the many casualties of this downturn. Hi Divya. Divya Gupta used to work in the human resource department of a large real estate company for a year and a half. When 2 months ago, her reporting head informed her that the company was going to lay off people in the next few weeks.
That was my cue basically to move away and start something on my own. I was anyways in the process of doing my background work to start off. When we had the town hall meeting, I was pretty sure that this was the right time for me to move on. So December is when I formally put down my papers, and that's how. And when we resigned, we were formally told that there would be a 2-month severance package that would be given to each employee who would either be laid off or would be moving on with an arrangement like this.
300 of the 500 employees in Divya's company eventually quit or were asked to do so, but many are still awaiting the promised severance pay.
The processing time that they need to process a settlement was supposed to be anywhere between 15 days to a month after the person's last working day. That is something which hasn't happened. There are people who were probably asked to go in the month of October and November, and we're now in April end and they've still not got their money. So in terms of making the layoff easier, I would suggest that maybe it would make sense if the companies would offer the severance package upfront and would probably not put the employee through so much of an angst.
Divya has now launched her own HR consultancy firm that helps companies recruit and manage employees better. This is just one side of the story. Now meet Stuart Crichton, the co-founder of cleartrip.com. Last year, like most other companies, he tried every trick in the management book to stay afloat, from cutting advertising spends to taking a 25% pay cut himself. In October, he finally caved and was forced to lay off 45 of his 300-strong workforce.
Nobody likes to lay people off. I mean, we're all young businesses. I mean, we're a little over 2 years old now, so that means that we pretty much know everybody in the business. So it's very different from a much larger organization where perhaps it's not as sensitive. Here we know the people, we interact with them on a daily basis, so you emotionally relate to people. And so it's a very, very, very hard decision, and one that shouldn't be taken lightly.
Which is why Cleartrip handled its employees with kid gloves. It helped 70% of its fired workforce find another job. But not every company is a Cleartrip. HR experts Sanjay Jog and Sharmeen Khalid offer some options on how to make pink slips pain-free.
If you are going to cut costs on any of the items, it's very, very, very important that people know about why you are doing it. Second is transparency in terms of what is our situation vis-a-vis maybe competition, vis-a-vis our marketplace, etc. What is the situation of our orders, or what is the situation of our collections, and so on and so forth. I think once you share data and honestly share data, I think everybody understands that the company has a problem or is in a crisis, or people start getting ideas in terms of what are the things that we can do differently.
The other thing could be to freeze external hiring and to try to look at all the positions, try to fill them internally rather than hiring from outside.
That's not all. Enterprising spoke to a whole lot of experts and this is what they recommended. First, take a top-down approach of management pay cuts. Make structural changes to employee salaries, which means if an employee earns 10,000 rupees a month, pay him 6,000 as salary and 4,000 as performance-based incentives. Get one team to work on 2 or 3 projects within a given time frame, which means no more slacking off. And last, give unpaid vacations to employees, promising them a future position in the company. Of course, an ideal company would be the one that handholds you through this rough phase and offers some sort of non-monetary guidance.
I think organizations, what they should do when they let go of people, or when people resign on their own, is provide them with a reference network so that that helps kickstart their business if there are people who want to start off their own business, or probably help outplacing those candidates, because in a situation like this where there are anyways lack of jobs, it will help if the organization takes that extra effort to help placing those candidates in another organization. I think in terms of a non-monetary benefit, that is the least that the organization could do.
Compassionate firing, if there's anything like that. Well, it's time for a quick break. On the other side, we'll tell you about a man who's cleaned his way to success. You're watching Enterprising. We'll be back in just a bit.